Toto is a powerful but shy hero who dreams of killing the demon lord with his party of 3 beautiful girls, but little does he know that the girls are assassins sent to kill him for different reasons. Luckily, he is too strong to be harmed by their sneak attacks, and the girls who want to kill him soon start catching feelings for him. But unfortunately, he is too shy to handle all that attention. Deep within the demon realm, the demon lord gives his daughter Seal a test to be officially recognized as an adult. He tells her that out of all the hero candidates who dream of killing him, he has found a man who is particularly strong. He tells Seal that her mission is to kill the hero on her own, and then she will be considered an adult as well as the heir to the throne. The Demon King gives Seal the information she needs about her target, and the lowly flies away immediately, thinking that killing a hero is no big deal, and she might as well have some fun in the human lands. Meanwhile, in a human city, a bad mommy assassin anemone is getting her payment for her last mission, when her agents give her another mission. This time, she has to kill a hero, and the client wants her to cosplay as a priest while doing that. Anne tells the client to screw himself because there is not enough money in the world to make her do that. But just as she hears that the reward is 1 million gold, she quickly changes her mind. On the other hand, there is a dominatrix named Goa, who takes great pleasure in turning big buffed guys into her pets. She is getting bored because no one can resist her techniques anymore, but her lackeys tell her that they found the perfect target for her. Coincidentally, their target is the same guy, and he already has enough on his plate to deal with. His name is Toto, and while he dreams of being a popular hero whom everyone wants to join, he is just a shy and awkward mess who can't even talk to strangers. Since he is built like an absolute unit, even his nervous face looks scary to normies, and they run away just as he tries initiating a conversation. Toto gets depressed because he has never had the chance to form a party with someone, but just as he is about to head home, his luck suddenly changes. All 3 assassin girls arrive there, telling Toto that they have heard a lot about him, and they want to form a party with him. While Seal and Anne immediately hate each other's guts, Goa believes the more the merrier. The people in the guild are really shocked that 3 pretty girls are trying to team up with their awkward loner. But Toto feels like this is his chance. He had been single for so long that he would join any party that took him in, and he preps himself to say yes. Meanwhile, everyone tells the girls to forget about Toto and join them, but Goa tells them that she has already given her heart and soul to the hero. She clings to Toto's arm, and suddenly, his last 2 brain cells explode, and he faints while still standing. The girls are confused by this, and the regulars at the guild tell them that Toto is incredibly shy, and even more so around women. Well, Goa and Anne think that they can use this thing to their advantage, but Seal beats them to it. She uses her magic to lift Toto up, and then flies out, breaking through the guild roof. Goa and Anne give chase, not sure what Toto wants, but they think it is good that they are out of the city now. Anne suddenly summons a grenade launcher and fires it towards Toto, but Seal dodges the initial attacks and then deflects the rest with a magic barrier. The 3 of them come to a halt with that, and Goa decides to use a home-brewed potion to turn the girls into her pets before dealing with Toto. Meanwhile, Seal also secretly drops a magic spell into the ground to summon a powerful monster. She and Anne are ready to kill each other before they get to the hero, but Goa steps in between, declaring a ceasefire like Trump has been doing recently. Anne and Seal decide to talk things out, but the moment they let their guard down, they find that they have been paralyzed thanks to Goa's special paralyzing perfume. Goa is proud of her creation, but Seal tells her that she messed up big time because she interrupted her summoning spell, and now the creature that she summoned will certainly go out of control. Suddenly, a magic circle appears on the ground, and an 8-legged dark dragon comes out of it, and Goa decides to run for her life cause fighting is not her style. To her shock, Anne and Seal power through the paralysis and grab her legs, telling her to give them the antidote if she wants to survive. While they are quarreling about it, the dragon approaches them, but just as it is about to eat them, Toto comes in clutch and blows the dragon's head away with a single punch. The girls can't believe their eyes, and then Toto turns towards them. They keep expecting him to drop some cool main character-like line, but the shy Toto can't even utter a single word. They decide to praise him because he did in fact save their lives, but the moment they hug him, Toto's brain melts again and he passes out. The girls debate if they should kill him now, but Seal says that they should not because Toto was really cool earlier and they owe him their lives today. Anne and Goa also agree, and then Goa suggests that they head back to the city and get to know each other over desserts. Seal immediately agrees because she loves sweets, and Anne decides to go along to figure if they are her enemies or friends. Meanwhile, Goa just plans to pretend to be their friend and strike them once she sees a chance. Anyway, they head to the city, where they decide to introduce each other properly. Seal says that she is a mage, and Anne keeps up the act of being a priest, while Goa says she is a dancer who wants to have fun. It is Toto's turn next, and while he wants to be a cool, nonchalant guy, he can't say all that much. He just mumbles that he will protect them from all dangers, and he is looking forward to working with them. And then Goa hugs him on purpose to knock him out so that she can talk freely with the girls. The three of them reveal their true identities and motives, and Goa says that they should work together to defeat the hero. Anne says that she is going to quit because she is not getting paid enough to cosplay and deal with competition at the same time. But that is just a bit fat lie. She simply moves to a high place and summons a sniper rifle to kill Toto while he is still unconscious and unguarded. But while she is trying to find him, she spots a girl being sold into slavery. Anne is not going to let that happen, and she throws a smoke bomb to scoop the girl away. She gives her some money and tells her to run as far away as she can, and then decides to deal with the slave trader, who turns out to be a headless monster. He tells Anne that she will pay for harming his business, but she charges at him first and quickly overwhelms him with her strength and speed. The monster realizes that he is in danger, so he decides to unleash his full power, sending his green tentacles to attack her. Anne easily chops up his tentacles, but to her surprise, he can regenerate them and even control the chopped up parts. She starts feeling cornered, and then the monster covers himself in his tentacles for absolute defense. But just then, Toto comes there and smacks the shit out of him with a single punch. Anne is shocked to see this and asks Toto what is he doing here. He reminds her that he promised to protect her, and she suddenly starts falling for him too. However, Toto suddenly notices the knife in her hand, and to avoid giving an explanation at him, Anne blows a flying kiss towards him, instantly knocking him out. Goa and Seal were watching this from behind the corner, and they call Anne cringe for using a flying kiss as a weapon. Anne is pissed at them, and then Seal asks why didn't she just snipe the monster from a distance. Anne replies that if the poor girl had seen a corpse at her feet, it would mess her mind up, and she doesn't want anyone to grow up with that kind of trauma. She declares that she will change this rotten world, but she needs money for that, and she won't hesitate in killing Einon for that. She then covers her knife with magic to hit Toto, but the image of him saving her pops up in her mind, and she stops enchanting her knife midway, letting it shatter on impact instead. She makes the excuse that she is tired, so Goa recommends that they book a room in an inn. She books just one room for the four of them, and Toto passes out just thinking that they are going to share the bed. Anne heads out because she is not ready for freaky stuff yet, and Seal doesn't even know what adults do in bedrooms, so she decides to dip too. Now that Goa is left alone, she injects a special chemical into Toto's body, confident that he will become her pet in 5 minutes. However, nothing happens when she comes out after taking a shower, and when she tries seducing him with a dance, he doesn't even wake up. She decides to stop holding back and enters her dominatrix form, hitting Toto with her whip. He still resists her control, but Goa thinks she is getting there. She uses one of her special skills to command him to lick her feet, but instead, Toto pounces on her and pins her to the bed. Goa is not used to being dominated like this, and she actually starts liking it. But then Toto comes to his senses, and on seeing a baddie ready to let him have his way with her, he faints again, this time with a violent nosebleed. Goa then calls Anne and Seal, telling them what happened, and the girls decide to spend the rest of the night bonding with each other. The next morning, Goa wakes up fully refreshed, but Anne and Seal are already judging her for sleeping soundly in this situation. Goa tells them to take a chill pill because there is an even bigger sleepyhead in the room, and it is the hero Toto. However, Anne checks him and finds that he passed out after having a nosebleed, probably from seeing all three of them sleeping defenselessly. Suddenly, they remember their missions and pull out their weapons to kill Toto. But while they are locked in a standoff, he wakes up. The girls immediately hide their weapons and go to greet him, but Toto can't handle how close they are to him and passes out again. Anyway, after he wakes up, the girls get ready for their first adventure, but Toto is doubtful about his abilities to handle three beauties because he passed out first thing in the morning. However, he reminds himself that he promised to protect them and tells them that he will do his best. Anne asks him where should they go first, but Goa says that they should head to the Adventurers Guild before anything else because they need to register themselves as a party. Once they reach the guild, the receptionist asks them to write their names and the name of the party leader, and Goa tells Toto to go first because he is their leader. He is shocked to hear this because he has never even been in a party before, but takes up the job anyway. The receptionist completes the paperwork and asks them to wait while she processes everything. And to show how sincere he is, Toto bangs his head on the table to thank her. The receptionist is freaked out and Toto starts bleeding, which really upsets the girls. They wipe his blood away and then tell him to stop being so intense all the time, and he apologizes, wondering if he is fit to be a leader. Soon, their party is registered with the guild and Toto is overjoyed to see the registration license. Goa tells him that this is just the beginning, and if they reach a rank, they will get guild cards as well. Turns out everyone here is illiterate when it comes to the basics of adventuring, so Goa explains the usual rank hierarchy of adventurers from E rank to S rank. She says that they are currently at E rank, but if they take a lot of quests they can get promoted quickly. Seal asks how many days would it take them to reach S rank, and Goa tells her that this is not an idle RPG game that they can rank up so quickly. She says that it takes normal adventurers years to even reach a rank, and Seal freaks out on hearing that. However, Anne decides to look at the bulletin board for quests, and Toto follows her. Suddenly, Seal chases after him and grabs his arm, causing him to blow his fuse and pass out again. Anne and Goa immediately recognize this as a signal for private talks, and they ask the lowly what does she want. Seal asks them why should they bother with stuff like ranking up as adventurers when their goal is to kill the hero. The other two girls agree with her, and decide to go for the kill right away, but they are once again in a stalemate. Finally, Anne suggests that they get 1 day each to kill Toto, and Seal says that she will agree in case the other two people swear not to interfere. Goa agrees too, and with that, the three girls settle matters with a game of rock, paper, scissors. Soon after that, Toto wakes up, and he sees Seal sitting next to him because apparently she won the game and got the chance to try first. Toto feels the situation getting awkward and he wants to act like a cool hero to impress her, but he knows that he hasn't got it in him. He can't come up with anything to say, so he simply asks Seal about Anne and Goa. She replies that they went out to find a mission for them, and she stayed behind to keep an eye on him. She says that she doesn't need to do it anymore since he is awake, and Toto thanks her. The awkward silence returns after that, but then Seal asks Toto why he wants to go on an adventure. She wants to know if he is in it for the money or the fame, and Toto gets all serious as he decides to answer the question sincerely. He tells her that he wants confidence to act like a normal person. Seal is shocked to hear this, and Toto elaborates, saying that he feels insecure because of the scar on his face and his communication skill issues, but he thinks that if he kills the Demon Lord, he will get the confidence to talk to others. His words remind Seal of herself because she also did not have the courage to talk to other demons, and she wanted to complete the mission to be recognized as an adult to earn some confidence. She smiles and tells Toto that he is just like her, and says that they should try their best to grow together. Toto thanks her, but then Seal smirks to herself, thinking that he will be the one to die instead of the Demon Lord. After that, Toto apologizes to Seal because he is always fainting and causing trouble for the girls when he should be protecting them. Toto remembers the time he saved her from the demon dragon and tells him that he is already doing his job well. The shy hero can't handle the stress of being called a good boy and he passes out again. Just then, Anne and Goa return with a quest, but first, they tease Seal about falling in love with the hero. She tells them to shut up and then asks for the quest they brought. Goa tells her that the quest involved getting inside a cave and she can attack Toto there. Seal asks her and Anne to promise that they won't interfere, and both of them agree. However, Anne taunts Seal, saying that she might not be able to kill Toto because she has got attached to him. The two of them get ready to fight each other immediately, but Goa steps in between them again and stops them. Soon after that, they reach the cave which houses an E-rank dungeon, and Toto is nervous about entering a completely secluded place with the three girls. Seal tells him to relax because they just need to mine some iron ore to complete their mission, and he nervously walks ahead, telling the girls to follow him. While walking behind him, Goa asks Seal how she is going to attack Toto this time, and Anne thinks that she will once again summon a gigantic monster. Seal replies that there is no need for that because she will first see how strong the hero is. Just then, a bunch of slime monsters fall from the roof, and Toto deals with all of them instantly. However, Seal tells the girls that he used only punches to beat the slimes, and even when he killed the dragon earlier, he only punched it. She thinks that since Toto relies only on his fists, they can take advantage of this and fight him with a monster resistant to physical damage. She says that slimes are quite resistant to physical damage, and while Toto could easily defeat the small ones, he will definitely struggle against a bigger and more powerful slime. Anne asks her how will she find such a powerful slime in this dungeon, and Seal replies that she will create it. She uses her magic to combine the defeated slimes into one giant emperor slime, and Toto panics because he didn't sense any strong monsters inside the cave. He decides to deal with it quickly and dashes ahead to punch it. But the slime not only blocks all the physical damage from the punch, it also sticks to Toto's hand, making him unable to be free. Seal was counting on this, and to keep up the act of a caring teammate, she asks Toto to be careful because the slime can swallow him whole and digest him alive. Toto thanks her for the advice and then decides to change his strategy. He lifts up the slime and swings it around with great speed before smashing it into a wall, but this makes the slime spill back towards him. Toto gets completely trapped by the slime now, and he is pinned against the wall, unable to move. The giant slime moves towards him, and Seal is confident that she will succeed in her mission. But then Toto pulls out a move no one expected. He loudly yells at the slime to let him go, and his scream has enough power to completely obliterate the slime. Seeing her plan fail so badly, Seal loses all confidence and gives up on making another attempt at Toto. Goa consoles her and says that since there are no more slimes to bother them now, they should quickly mine the iron ore. They head deeper into the mine, searching for iron ore, and Anne manages to find some chunks. She says that they need something to dig them out, but Toto tells her to get aside because he has the best tool for any job. He punches through the wall, digging out the iron ore with his bare hands, shocking the girls even more. They continue gathering the iron ore all day, and when they return to the blacksmith who gave them the quest, they have collected a huge sack full of iron ore. The blacksmith is impressed by their haul and says that he always gives this quest to the newbie parties to see how skilled and powerful they are. He says that Toto might be the new record holder for the greatest amount of iron ore mined in a day, and he tells him to keep up the good work because he has a great future ahead of him. After that, they head back to the inn and the girls ask Toto how did he become this strong. He nervously tells them that he just works out a lot, and that is really shocking for the girls to hear. Just then, the other adventurer who was at the blacksmith's shop comes there and starts talking shit to Toto just because he mined more iron ore than him. He tells the girls to leave the E-rank loser and come to him because he is a D-rank adventurer, but they give him the most scornful look he has ever seen, and he runs away immediately. Goa tells Toto not to mind the loser because they will overtake him soon, but he feels that the guy was right because even today, he struggled against slimes, which are the weakest monsters. He thinks that if the three girls had not picked him, he would still be a useless loser, so he swears to get even stronger so that he can protect them and defeat the Demon King. Soon, the party goes to a neighboring town, and while Toto and Seal talk about how it is smaller than the last town they stayed in, Goa and Anne are itching to get their chance at killing Toto. They decide to play rock, paper, scissors again to determine who will get the chance today, and the clueless Toto just thinks that they have become very good friends. Ultimately, Goa wins the game and gets the chance to spend time with Toto alone. The entire town stares at her like incels who have never seen a real woman before. However, Toto is confused about where Seal and Anne are. Goa replies that they had something to do, and then teases Toto, asking if he doesn't like being alone with her. Though incredibly nervous, Toto doesn't faint this time, and then Goa says that since they are alone, they should grab a bite. Toto immediately begins questioning if this is a date, but he immediately shakes that thought off, believing that he is just Goa's bodyguard. He decides to show her how reliable he is, but then Goa grabs his arm, telling him that she is really excited for their date, and that is enough to blow his fuse. Seal and Anne watch this from the distance, and they both know that Goa isn't actually planning to kill the hero so they can rest assured. Seal says that since they have free time now, they should try all the food in the town, and she asks Anne to give her company. Meanwhile, Goa takes Toto to a bar where she spikes his drink while he is not watching. She urges him to drink it all and then begins staring at him as she waits for the drug to kick in. However, Toto thinks that she wants him to say something like how she picked a really amazing drink for him. In his mind, Toto aggressively flirts with Goa, but he can't say anything out loud. Goa thinks that it is proof that her drug didn't work on him, so she immediately steps up her game, lacing a meat skewer with medicines that can cause paranoia. However, even they don't do anything to Toto except getting him to make a creepy face. Next, she feeds him a sandwich that has medicines that can make anyone sleep for a week straight. but Toto just gives her a menacing smile while saying it is delicious. Soon after that, Goa starts sulking because her special drugs had no effect on Toto. She feels that she is at a great disadvantage in her mission now because even her seduction skills didn't work on him in the past. Just then, Toto comes there with tea, and Goa decides to not pull her punches anymore. She asks him if he loves her, and Toto uses all his strength to not faint. He asks Goa what does she mean, and she uses her skill on him, telling him to become her dog and pledge his life and loyalty to her. Toto is taken aback by this, but he resists her skill, telling her that he can't become her dog. Goa feels shattered on hearing this, and she falls back on the bench, tears flowing down her eyes. She begs Toto not to hate her, and he panics, wondering how he should make things clear to her. He quickly removes his glove and bites his hand so that the pain prevents him from staying unconscious. He then tells Goa that he won't be able to protect her if he becomes her dog, and protecting her, Seal and Anne is the main goal of his life right now. Goa is moved on hearing this, and she wipes her tears as she thanks Toto. However, he was already at his limit, and hearing those words causes him to faint. Goa can't believe that he bit himself so hard just so that he could stay awake for her sake, and she thanks him yet again. Soon after that, Toto comes to his senses, and Goa tells him that they need to hurry up and meet their friends. Suddenly, he notices a bandage with a flower tied around his injured hand, and Goa tells him that it is her way to thank him. She winks at him, asking him to keep it a secret, and that is enough to knock Toto out once again. Anyway, they soon reach the place where Seal and Anne are waiting for them. Seal immediately tells Toto about a cake shop nearby that is really famous, and she wants to buy some before they sell out. Toto decides to follow her, and in the meantime, Anne asks Goa if she failed too. Goa affirms, but she adds that she had fun, and then she runs up to Toto, telling him that they need to find an inn soon so that they can share a room. Toto faints again on hearing this, and Anne and Seal start feeling like Goa has gotten suspiciously closer to him. Later, as the three girls are alone in the room, Anne declares that it is her turn next. Seal says that they are supposed to play the game of rock, paper, scissors each day, but Anne refuses, saying that she has not got a chance yet, so it is only fair that she goes next. Goa decides to agree and says that they should follow this order from now on. But Anne tells her that there won't be any need for that because she will definitely kill Toto. However, neither Goa nor Seal have any faith in her, and they leave to make preparations for their next attempt. The next day, Seal and Goa decide to explore the city some more, while Anne takes Toto to a herb collecting quest in the forest. As always, Toto is curious about the other two, and Anne replies that they both have a stomach ache because they ate too much yesterday. She says that the herbs they will collect today are known to cure stomach ache, so they can take some for them too. Toto tells her that he will do his best to finish the quest quickly, and immediately after that, the mood turns awkward. Anne turns out to be as bad as Toto when it comes to small talk, and both of them nervously wonder what to say next. Meanwhile, Goa and Seal are enjoying some delicious ice cream, but Goa intently waits for the drugs in it to take effect. However, Seal tells her to not get her hopes up because she is using magic to protect her from all negative effects. Goa taunts her, saying that Seal won't be able to use the same magic to protect herself from her skills, but just then, a rugged man comes there and tells them to shut up because his gang is actually robbing this place. Back in the forest, Anne feels the urge to light up a cigarette, but she can't do it while cosplaying as a priest. Suddenly, Toto uses the age-old icebreaker to ask her about her hobbies, and out of habit, Anne tells him that she likes money and alcohol. She panics because she accidentally blurted out the truth, but immediately covers for it by saying that it was a joke. She then asks Toto about his hobbies, and he turns into a nervous mess because he doesn't want to admit that going to the gym is basically his entire personality. The awkward silence between them returns again, and this time, Anne decides to ask Toto about the scar on his face, and he suddenly stops in his tracks. Back in the town, neither Goa nor Seal care about the robbery, and they just talk about how the world is going to dogs. The bandits are pissed off at their nonchalant behavior, but their leader Zark decides to show the girls how terrifying he is. He tells the girls that they must have heard his name already because he used to be a B-rank adventurer before he became a bandit, but his ego takes a hit when they call him a nobody. Zark gets pissed and attacks Seal with his sickle, but she casually blocks the attack with her magic barrier. She coldly asks him if he even knows who he attacked right now, and even though he feels intimidated, Zark attacks her again, targeting the table this time. Seal and Goa immediately get away, and Seal declares that she will defeat the bandit. Goa asks her to capture him alive, because he probably has a bounty on his head. It is not a big deal for Seal to utterly defeat the bandit leader without really hurting him. And in the meantime, Goa turns all his lackeys into her pets. On the other hand, Anne decides to take back her question, thinking that it made Toto uncomfortable, but he tells her that it is fine. He reveals that he got this scar from a monster attack. He claims that he lost his home, his family, and even his confidence in the monster attack, and Anne asks if he wants revenge. Toto replies that he doesn't care about revenge, but he wants the confidence to live a normal life and to believe that he still has value as a human. They soon reach their destination, and as Toto starts picking herbs, Anne begins thinking how Toto's story about losing everything doesn't mean anything to her because she had nothing to begin with. She decides to show him no mercy, and suddenly breathes into his ear, causing him to lose consciousness. She then creates a special level bomb, using her skill that creates an explosion based on the strength of its target. She plants the bomb on Toto's body, watching it grow in size gradually. Back in the restaurant, the staff thanks Seal and Goa for saving them, and Goa tells them that they can turn in the bandits to the guild and use the bounty to repair their place. The staff is really grateful and offers to treat them to dinner for free at night, but Seal reminds Goa that they don't want Toto to learn about their true power. She agrees with her and immediately pulls out a special perfume that makes everyone lose their memories of their fight with the bandits. Seal is really impressed because even magic can't erase memories that effectively, and she decides to learn the basics of medicine making. Meanwhile, in the forest, the level bomb on Toto's body has grown gigantic, and she freaks out because even if she runs, she can't escape its explosion radius now. So she decides to cut off the bomb away from Toto's body while waking him up. She tells him to toss the bomb as far away as he can, and he does that without wasting a second. The bomb goes far away and then explodes, releasing a devastating amount of energy. When the explosion ends, Anne opens her eyes and sees that Toto protected her from the explosion that destroyed half a mountain. She freaks out on realizing that since Toto is not even harmed by the explosion, it means that the bomb would have grown even bigger if she just let it be. However, she is also grateful because she escaped certain death thanks to Toto. She thanks him, letting her real personality spill out, and Toto faints again at that. Soon after that, Toto's party goes on more missions together, and their current mission is to defeat a bunch of goblins. Toto fights on the front lines as always, and Anne backs him up with her skills. Goa also weakens the monsters using her potions, and then Seal finishes the remaining ones with a powerful area attack. Once they clear the mission, they return to the guild where the receptionist congratulates them because now their party is eligible to take the D rank promotion exam. No one apart from Goa knows what that is, so she explains that they need to pass a test to increase their rank and take better missions. The receptionist tells them that their test is to conquer a dungeon, and in the test their bond as a team will be tested, which causes everyone to panic. Soon, they reach the dungeon, where the guard tells Toto that he needs to reach the lowest floor of the dungeon with his party and bring back proof to pass the test. Anne asks how deep is the dungeon, but the guard refuses to answer because it won't be a test if he helps them. Goa says that it doesn't matter because they are really close to each other, and passing the test won't be difficult for them all. The three girls start emoting to show the guard how well they bond with each other. But just as Toto enters the dungeon, a wicked smile spreads on their face because they plan to attack him inside. A day before the mission started, the three assassin girls called a meeting to discuss their strategy. Anne immediately made it clear that she won't be playing along and helping them clear the dungeon because she doesn't see any point in getting promoted to D rank. However, Goa told her that with D rank, they would unlock new missions, which would mean new places to ambush Toto. Anne is not convinced with that, and even Seal agrees with her, but Goa tells them that they should pass the promotion quest anyway. They agree with her and call a truce till the promotion test is over, but inside, all three of them plan to ignore their attack order and ambush Toto inside the dungeon. Back to the present, the party tries to find their way to the next floor of the dungeon. Toto spots a door with a creepy copper face in its center, and notices a plate next to it that contains some instructions. Goa goes there to read it, being the only literate person in the group. She finds that the door can be unlocked by giving it mana, and then it will open by giving stamina. The others don't even understand what that means, and Goa says that it means that the hero has to work with a mage to unlock the door. Seal immediately puts her hand in the creepy figurehead's mouth, and it absorbs her mana. She realizes that Goa's theory was right, and now Toto needs to give it some stamina to open it. He puts his hand in the mouth too, and suddenly, a huge chunk of his stamina is absorbed. The door opens and they go deeper into the dungeon, but Toto is worried about Seal, thinking that the door absorbed a lot of her mana as well. However, it turns out that Seal tweaked the magic spell cast on the door so that it would steal most of Toto's stamina. She decides to finish him off right now as he is quite weak, but then Anne casts basic healing magic on Toto out of nowhere. Seal almost crashes out on seeing this, but Goa tells her to calm down. She reminds her that they planned on a ceasefire today, and if anyone tries to kill Toto, the others are allowed to interrupt her plans. Soon, they reach the next trial where they have to cross a room full of flames, and Anne decides to throw a bomb in there to increase its power. However, Seal quickly blows out the flames using wind magic, failing her plans. The next trial is a room covered with fog that completely blocks their vision, and while Toto goes to find the way out, Goa releases a special perfume that can make the others hallucinate and fight amongst each other. However, it doesn't do anything and Goa is shocked because she expected it to work on at least Seal and Anne. Seal replies that she is using magic to protect herself from negative effects, while Anne claims that she has developed immunity to her toxins because she uses them so casually. Just then, Toto returns after finding the way out and Goa can't even crash out at the two girls. They continue their journey, and all three girls decide to deal with each other first before attacking Toto. But before they can do anything, they arrive at their next trial, which is an empty room with 3 doors. Anne immediately picks the door that leads to the treasure room, telling Toto that they should get some money along with the proof. Seal mocks her for being a gold digger and asks Toto to come with her to the Room of Glory. Goa tells both of them to give up on their plans and join her in the Room of Pleasure instead so that they can have fun together. The 3 girls ask Toto to choose them, and he is confused about what to do. He can't understand how they suddenly turned so hostile towards each other when they were acting like a couple of besties just a few minutes ago. The 3 girls then stop appealing to him altogether and decide to fight amongst each other using the dungeon's test as an excuse. Toto wants to stop them so that they can reach the lowest level of the dungeon quickly, when suddenly he gets an idea. Instead of choosing one of the doors, he simply punches the ground, causing it to cave in. The entire party falls down the hole into an open space with thick tree roots that break their fall. The girls are confused about what is happening, and Toto tells them that he thought that the easiest way to go to the floor below them was through the ground. Just then, an old martial artist comes there, applauding them for making the right choice and arriving at the lowest floor of the dungeon quickly. He introduces himself as Lightning Legs Bara and declares that he will be their examiner for the real test. He tells the party that to pass the test, they only need to land 1 hit on him. He then suddenly starts glaring at the girls, telling Toto that he is lucky to have a harem of such fine bitches. The girls get offended by this and decide to off him, but then Toto steps forward, saying that he will face Bara alone because he has been pretty useless till now. The dollar store Notaro calls him brave and stupid for daring to fight him alone as he suddenly dashes towards him. He kicks Toto with full power, but he easily blocks his kick and then counters with a punch. Bara dodges the powerful punch effortlessly and decides to test Toto's skills a bit more. He jumps down from the roof and lands a crushing kick to Toto's neck before throwing another powerful attack, but Toto is unharmed. He counters with a punch again and Bara dodges it just a millisecond before the pressure from the punch digs up the floor in front of him. He is impressed by Toto's strength, and at the same time, the girls are also impressed with the old man's speed. Suddenly, Goa gets an idea and she tells the other 2 about it. They immediately get up and tell Toto that they can't let him do all the fighting alone, and they are going to support him as best as they can. They cast powerful buffs and send them forward, but instead of Toto, they are targeting Bara so that he becomes even stronger and crushes the hero for them. However, Toto's Delulu ass thinks that the girls buffed him with their enchantment spells instead. Meanwhile, Bara suddenly starts feeling stronger than he was in his prime, and he dashes towards Toto, hoping to defeat him with his next attack. However, he drops his guard in an attempt to launch an all-out attack, and Toto simply knocks him down with 1 punch. The girls are disappointed that another of their plans failed when Seal notices someone watching them. She turns around, but the mysterious stalker suddenly disappears. Soon after that, they return to the surface and the guard gives Toto the certificate of passing the D-rank promotion exam. The girls start acting like it was all thanks to their teamwork and strong bond, but that reminds Toto of how they were about to throw hands earlier. He says that he was really worried when he saw them fighting each other, and the girls quickly cook up a story about a weird spell in the room that made them fight each other. They thank Toto for breaking the floor before the spell could take effect fully, and he easily believes their story. They start walking back home with that, and the girls stop their friendly act as soon as Toto turns his back towards them. They are itching to fight each other again when suddenly they hear Toto's stomach rumbling, and he admits that he is feeling quite hungry after the test. Goa suggests that they should throw a party to celebrate their promotion, and there they can eat and drink as much as they want. They soon reach the inn and start celebrating, and after an hour, Anne is completely hammered. She clings to Seal, saying that she always wanted a cute little sister like her, and Seal controls her impulse to blow her up using magic. On the other hand, Goa flirts with Toto, telling him to come to her room later without realizing that he drank too much and is already unconscious. Seal is the first one to notice it, and she wants to stop the party already. Anne tells her to have a drink, but she refuses because she doesn't like the bitter taste, so Goa passes her a cocktail made using some local sweets. Seal can't refuse that, and 1 hour later, she is also completely hammered. She clings to Anne, calling her elder sister, and then climbs on Toto's shoulders to play. Goa, on the other hand, is still the most sober one, and she pulls out a syringe, saying that they should fight now. Both Anne and Seal are pissed that she is trying to attack them when they are vulnerable. But then Goa changes her plans, saying that she is having too much fun and she doesn't want to spoil it by starting a fight. The girls all admit that they don't have any real friends, and having parties like this is completely new for them. They bicker and bond with each other while Toto is still unconscious, but they eventually sober up after a couple of hours and wake him because it is time to go home. Later that night, as everyone sleeps, Seal is still awake because she can sense the stalker nearby. She tells the stalker to come out because no one else will notice her right now, and just then Happy, one of the Demon King's elite guards, arrives at the window and greets Seal. But that's where this video ends. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.